What is going on, SoFi fans? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to give you a quick overview of some of the data points, technicals, and where I see things going from here. Before I get into any of that though, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So over my last, let's say 5 video updates for SoFi, I've indicated a lot of bullish signals, bullish trends, and so forth. And funny enough, even though it's gone up a huge amount, those bullish signals are still very much there. So SoFi is a whole different level. Again, this doesn't typically happen with a lot of stocks, so don't think this is normal. But still, at the end of the day, it did go up 0.74% on Friday, and it did have a huge rally to $8.81, largely because of an analyst rating. As you can see, Keefe did up it to $5.50. So again, it's one of those things that a lot of people, I feel, are starting to finally realize, and I'm talking about analysts, are starting to finally realize that SoFi is going to be doing a hell of a lot of good things. In addition to that, this is the latest updates as well, so it does look like SoFi upped their APY to 4.3%. So of course, I think this is also another very big indicator on why a lot of their stats are looking so good on every single earnings, because of course having 4.3% is very incentivizing to bring over and new members to join SoFi. And of course, when doing so, that means products go up, deposits go up, and if deposits go up, then their whole business succeeds. So in reality, SoFi might have found the kind of kryptonite to have it succeed in general. But of course, keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence at the end of the day. At the time of doing this video, or more specifically, I guess Friday, there was no press releases, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. There is the upcoming shareholder meeting. I believe it is on the 14th, if I remember correctly. And there was an interesting post as well on Twitter. I couldn't really find it afterwards, but there was someone that kind of found a correlation between this run and the last annual shareholder meeting. I guess supposedly there was a tentative rally that I guess caused maybe a 40% or 30% increase at that time, right before the shareholder meeting, on which it did sell off. But a lot of people are projecting that that might technically happen this time around, even though there is no correlation, there's no real justification, no catalyst to buy because of the upcoming shareholder meeting. But I kind of found it interesting, so I'll give you guys a quick overview. Like I said, a lot of still bullish signals are being very apparent, and one of which is just big money straight up buying. So these are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market, and for a Friday, this is just like mind-blowing. So 2.39 million in one transaction, 2.05, 16.3. This is the bid, the ask, and so you can tell that it was, and majority of these are buys. So it's funny, I've been covering SoFi for a while now, and I like to analyze data points and kind of give you my interpretation of this. But like I said, roughly for the last 5 videos, they've all had this exact same thing. So it feels like just someone turned on a switch, and all of a sudden, just institutions like, oh, SoFi's doing something right, we should buy it. So it's very messed up. Actually, to be fully honest, I think the only one to thank is Wedbush. He's the one that prompted this sell-off. And because of that, it did go down to $4.45. And I feel like because of that sell-off, it did get on a lot of people's radar. But of course, that's just my own interpretation. Funny things like that. But still, upcoming shareholder meeting, a lot of big money still technically buying. And majority of this as well is after hours on Friday, which normally is a desert. So once again, just be aware of that. As far as options activity on Friday, there was $29 million in call premiums. So even despite how positive it's been over the last little bit, Friday is huge. But keep in mind, there's one thing right here. So this works out to be 3.82 million just in that one 5-minute candle. But still, 29 million is pretty substantial versus 5.62 million in puts. So clearly that has also gone up a little bit. So there is some individuals out there or big institutions that is still anticipating that SoFi is going to go down, and that this might be going up too high too fast. And of course, looking at stochastic, it kind of does justify that as well. So stochastic is currently at 93, which is considered very overbought. So you have to factor all that in, right? Obviously everything goes up, but eventually something does have to pull back down, unless a lot of these institutions are making very strong support levels for it to kind of stay at these levels. But normally at one time or another, it would need to pull back and consolidate. But of course, that's just the technicals. But looking at the momentum indicator as well, number of retail investors have just been selling their children, buying SoFi, getting in, and basically that's amazing. It's solid stuff. All of the stats look absolutely amazing. Institutions clearly are buying through options and physical shares. And looking here, this is all the expiry dates, the strike prices, everything that you need to know. It is projected to go to around $9 now, more specifically within the next couple of weeks. So again, options activity is just a little bit more of a sentiment, doesn't necessarily move the stock price. But I want to give you guys a quick overview of shorts. So short score is currently 71, utilization is 86. As far as what shorts did on Friday, they returned 1.27 million shares. 12.62% of the free float is being shorted, so it's pretty good. So it went to, I think, a high this round, about 17%, so it's gone down quite a lot. But over and above that, about 100.68 million shares overall being shorted. Cost to borrow is flat, so 1.05%. But still, at the end of the day, I'm bringing this up merely because of benchmark. I never really see SoFi having a substantial mother of all short squeezes, and I would never want that to happen either, because SoFi is actually building a true brand. As soon as you start talking about squeezes, you start making it more of a meme stock, and SoFi is in reality far away from being a meme stock. So again, I'm just bringing this up more as a benchmark rather than anything, but still, given the nature of where things are and it being at $8.18, it did go up very fast, like I said, to $8.81 on Friday, so even above this R3, which is absolutely crazy. But still, that's something that you need to factor in, that $8.71 is that next big support, and vice versa, $7.72 is that next big resistance. So going into next week, especially just pulling this up, CPI, so the dreaded CPI is coming out on Tuesday, June the 13th. And that might cause a little bit more volatility. So if it is negative, then yet you can anticipate that the technicals are going to correct itself. Vice versa, if it is positive, then you never know, right? It could easily break past and welcome back to the $9 or the $10. You never know. SoFi is doing a whole level of stuff that's unknown to technicals and so forth. But again, it is a very fun ride. And like I said, I think also one telling thing, like I mentioned, is just the fact that institutions are buying so severely that they're finally realizing that SoFi is going to do a lot of good things, and that they've been doing a lot of good things. And Anthony Noto is probably one of the best CEOs on any stock that I've ever covered, any looked at, or whatever it is. Anthony Noto knows exactly what people want. And of course, he puts his money where his mouth is as well. He's truly backing up his claims. So that's definitely something I really do appreciate. And despite it even going down to $4, even at that stage, I was still saying that Anthony Noto is one of the best CEOs. There's a lot of manipulation that SoFi has gone through over the last little bit, but still, I think bigger picture, SoFi, even despite its run, is still going to do a lot of good things. So let me know you guys' thoughts on all that in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on SoFi.